Hey everybody, Guilty here, and you're gonna hear me in the background, like right now. You're gonna hear a little bit of me from time to time.
She shall function as our guide.
Shut up! Alright, so, initially, I was gonna record while I played this part, but after a while, didn't really have much to say, so kind of toned it down a little ways in, and figured I'd just resort to an after the fact recording. So, in this chapter, Zack meets Aerith. Aerithu will function as our guide. She's going to take us into Sector 5 slums. I noticed that the central pillar for Midgar was out there in the distance. So it kind of tried giving you the idea that the lower plate, Midgar as a whole, was pretty expansive. The thing of it is, though, because this is a PSP game, it is not very busy. You got some debris, you got some crap around you, but compare that to the remake on PlayStation 4. This area is hella populated with not just, monsters and shit, but buildings and all sorts of shit. So it's what's the word? It's an interesting juxtaposition to play this after I played a remake and be like, damn, I think I know what this is supposed to look like. I'm going with remake as like the de facto, this is what the characters will look like, this is what the areas look like, this is how things would have been when we made the game over 20 fucking years ago, but, limitations, etc. And then you see some shit like this, it's just like, this ain't right, bro. This ain't it. But this was 2007. At the time, I think this was the most intimate we could have gotten in Sector 5. Nobody saw the church, Aerith's church, from that angle. Nobody really saw Midgar from this angle. From the ground floor, you're able to kind of span the camera around. You didn't have that in the OG game. You had the fucking
Nice.
isometric camera, the overhead camera. You're always looking down. And I think that was something that they emphasized when they were developing the remake, was they really wanted people to feel the oppressive, claustrophobic nature of Midgar, of living in Midgar. So you can look up, you can look everywhere while you're playing as Cloud, and you can fucking feel it like you never have before, because you're always looking down in the OG game. But then you can look up at the plate, and you can look out at the pillar. He says right here, it's kind of stuffy down here. Yeah, you didn't really feel that. And you kind of can't really feel that here. I mean, yeah, so here it is. You can't see the sky. That's as much really as you can see. But in Remake, you can look around and look at the plate, and that's what I did. When I first stepped off the train in Chapter 3, I just stood there and was like, holy fucking shit! I was astounded at what they did. So here's something I totally forgot about, because it's been so long since I played Crisis Core, that Aerith's, what's the word I'm looking? Attitude towards the sky, towards, literally or metaphorically, the openness of things, of the world outside Midgar, scares her. Now this is 6 years before FF7, at the very least. When the game opens, you're in year zero, basically. You're at the start of a new era, literally, as far as the characters, as far as this world is concerned. Each era is 2,000 years long. So you were at the close of one era and you're starting a new one. And we started things off with year 0. They don't really give you a semblance of time, but if you look it up, a few months or so passed between that first mission that opens this game up and this point in time here. You know, you go into Wutai, you go into Benora, a little bit of jet setting. A few months pass at the very least. All right, I thought Yep, I did. Okay. So, I cut a lot of shit out because you're doing a fetch quest here. This kid steals your wallet. You run around, talk to all these people, and you're like, "Hey, this little fucking asshole stole my wallet. Can you help me catch him?" And these people are like, "I guess." They're very apathetic to your plight. And he runs away in the back, and you're just like, "Hey, there he goes!" And they're looking at you like, "Oh, sorry." This is me abusing the fast forward feature on PPSSPP. See, there he goes, little fucker. Excuse me. So another reason that this episode took a while, other than the fact that my final out's tomorrow, and we are reaching the end of my career, so things are a little weird, a little busy. Another reason this took a while is because I grinded out missions like a motherfucker. I use and abuse the fast forward feature because god damn, is there a lot of running. And it's so boring. It's just so fucking boring. So I'm using fast forward to go zip, 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 zip in between battles. Excuse me. Get that shit out of the way. And in doing so, in completing all of these missions, I have gained so much materia, so many armor pieces and accessories. I don't even know if Zack is near level 20 at this point, but after I got done with all those missions, he's at level like 77. I have so many borderline game-breaking things. And there's no cheats. No cheats at all. As soon as you finish this part here, and the part coming up, and you're back in the Shinra building, you can knock out all... There's like a shit ton of missions available to you. And if you can get through it, then you can get through it. There's no... This, like, so after this, when you get back to Shinra headquarters, that's like the big grindy part. Because you can just knock out all these missions. God damn. Kept getting fucking stopped. Like, this is a struggle. Kind of. I'm hitting these guys for 400, critting for 1,000. It's taken me a few swings. After this episode, when we get into the next one, I just lay waste to everybody and everything. It's stupid. But I got so much shit. And the materia fusion system in this game, I do kind of hope that they implement something like that in future remake parts. I think that'd be kind of neat. But it would be nice if when you're combining materia and you introduce items and shit to sort of spice up whatever the outcome is, if it would tell you what you're getting. Like when you're doing materia fusion, you put together fire and blizzard and thunder, right? Well, there are other materia combinations that give you materia that doesn't tell you outright what the fuck it is or what it does. Like there's these OP ass materias, costly punch. I wanted to say mana punch just now. Like magical punch or some shit. And when you're putting these things together and you see it pop up, you're like, what the fuck is that? I don't know what that is. SP boost, you can kind of assume what that is, but you don't fucking know. So it'd be nice if they do implement a materia fusion system in the remake, the upcoming remake parts. Or if they ever remaster or redo Crisis Core, because, hey, Zack is relevant now. Not like he never wasn't, but he's more relevant now than I guess he was. That should be something that ought to be considered. Because going into it, you don't, and then if you introduce items and shit, you really don't know what you're doing. I don't know. So here's this stupid mini game, this perfume mini game. Excuse me. It's, I don't know. I don't know. I want to call it padding. Padding is the drum in Remake. I mean, you're just... This is me counting drips, making sure we get this perfume shit right. The drum in Remake is padding by definition. You don't, like, there's no storytelling. It's just, oh, Hojo's got a big lab. Where in Shinra headquarters is the drum situated? No fucking idea. President Shinra doesn't mind more or less sitting on top of it. It's not above his office. It's underneath, so whenever he rides the elevator from the ground floor up, he has to pass the drum. And what is in there? Fucking Genova. So I guess he's okay with all that. But you get there, you confront Sephiroth, and then it's like, hi, I am a scientist, and I know you're here to fuck some shit up. But because I'm a scientist, I am intrigued by theories and hypotheses, so I'm not gonna kill you or report you or thwart you. I'm going to just throw some monsters at you, watch you succeed, and then go about your business. It's a classic trope. The bad guy has a chance to kill the protagonist, and instead he just prattles on about his evil plans. Meanwhile, the protagonist is like, oh, he's distracted by his ego. This is my opportunity to win. Come out on top. Hojo kind of does that. But, you can kind of tell, especially if you know the game, that Hojo isn't really interested in Shinra. He's not interested in politics. He's more interested in just learning shit and proving his theories correct. And ultimately, I guess he is proven correct. How do you know I'm decent and honest? I could be crazy. You don't even know me. How old is Aerith in Final Fantasy VII? Like 22? So she's 15, 16 here? How old is Zack? Wow. But this is where Aerith gets her pink ribbon. I guess Zack is the same age. He's also 16 at the beginning of Crisis Core. Or, huh. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, this one.
All right, I'll go buy it. I'll be right back. How's that?
Did you put it on right? Will it stay on?
It should be fine. Yeah, it looks great.
Yep, there it is.
Thank you, Zack. I'll always wear it from now on.
And she does. You can definitely see the Kingdom Hearts influence on the character models when they're doing those voice acted scenes, like that one just now with the ribbon.
So, ever meet any soldier members?
Maybe.
Do you think that they're happy?
What do you mean?
Heroes to children, protectors of the peace. But they're not normal. They get some kind of special surgery, don't they?
So they say.
Normal is best. I think so. At least. Those soldier people are kind of weird.
Hey, Judgy McJudgerson.
Yeah. Weird, huh?
And they're scary. They fight. And they love it.
Actually, I'm with Soldier.
Couldn't tell by the uniform
I'm sorry.
or the belt. Awkward.
So pretty.
The face?
The eyes.
You like them? Then take a closer look. Eyes infused with Mako energy. A soldier trademark.
Oh, you.
Color of the sky, right?
How would she know?
Uh-huh. But not scary at all.
I'll admit, things haven't been normal at all lately.
Her arms look like they're stretching out. Like they look super
about you,
long.
Aerith?
What the fuck is going
How's
on
your
there?
life going?
I was thinking it would be a normal day. But then suddenly, some guy fell out of the sky.
That's not all that bad.
Hmm.
Zack, return to the Shinra building now. Genesis has attacked us.
Sephiroth
On my
using a
way.
phone.
I'm sorry, but duty calls.
Well, I guess I should get going then. Will I see you again?
Of course.
I hope that your friend's okay, Zack.
Huh?
You talk in your sleep.
Yeah. It'll be fine. I know that now.
Alright, so done with that. About to make our way back to the expressway. And this kid gives us steel materia. Just funny because he's a thief. Oh, God. Oh, shit. I just pulled up a picture I saved of Darkseid from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I saved it on my phone to send it to a buddy. That shit's gonna be awesome. And I really hope that I don't subconsciously think it's freaking awesome just because I know that it's not the in-theater Justice League. It's this big, fan-demanded passion project that everybody's been dying for years. I was reading about it. I was reading about the Snyder Cut hashtag, the campaign, all that shit. And people at Warner Brothers or some critics out there were like, we can't believe that this thing is actually happening. These are people who are bending over and, you know, oh, the fans didn't like something, so they gnashed their teeth and they demanded a new movie or something else, and we're just Warner Brothers is catering to them, blah blah blah. It's like, I think you're missing the big picture here. This Justice League, this isn't the first time that a movie was coming out and it had promise and it had buy-in, and it turns out that some fucking studio head or somebody got in the way and said, hey, you need to change the tone of this. Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was supposed to be a way different movie. Instead, somebody at Warner Brothers or whoever, somebody sitting behind a desk that doesn't do movies for a living. They don't film, they don't direct, they don't act, probably don't even watch movies. They don't read comics. These aren't fans. These are fucking suits. And they're the ones that are going, hey, you need to make this movie funny. Ain't nobody gonna watch this. And then they fucked around with Suicide Squad, and everybody was like, this is at best mediocre. Fucking Justice League. With what happened with Zack Snyder, what happened with his family, with his daughter, was awful.
Thanks.
Totally understand why he wanted to step away and take some time. But of all people to go in and in his stead, they got Joss Whedon because he did Age of Ultron and Avengers. And the fucking studio heads probably thought, hey, Avengers was awesome, and Age of Ultron was
A second level up.
was okay. Let's get that guy. And you know what?
Is this the end?
We don't think this movie is going to be very well received. So Joss, go in there and work your magic, man. And what happened? Oh, we're gonna make some changes. We're gonna make some substantial changes. We're gonna kind of make Justice League funny. We're gonna completely gut the Darkseid arc, that whole narrative, and talk about Steppenwolf, who nobody really gives a shit about, unless you make them give a shit. I mean, how many people went into Man of Steel knowing who General Zod was, you know, and knowing going in, you know, and they kind of introduced that. They set him up because Zod is like, hey, you know, this is, I can't really remember the plot of Man of Steel. I just know that he and, God, Russell Crowe, I can't fucking remember, and I don't want to look it up on my fucking phone. Anyway, Russell Crowe's like, hey, some opinions. And Zod is like, hey, fuck your opinions, you know? And, I don't know, he just has a grudge against Kal-El and shit. I don't know. But it shows you Krypton. My point is, Man of Steel shows you Krypton. And it shows you kind of the discourse with Zod and Kal-El's dad. Jor-El? Jor-El. Am I shouting in the microphone? Fuck. It shows you that sort of, oh yeah, when that fucking dude came down. That fucker's pretty cool looking. Whoa. Anyway, so you see this dichotomy in perspective between Kal-El and Jor-El. Not Kal-El, fuck, Zod and Jor-El. And you're like, okay, this is how Zod feels about things. And we kind of figure out where his morality, you know, where that's all at, you know, how he I don't know, you can kind of get an idea of who he is as a character within the first 5 or 10 minutes. So you kind of ascertain what kind of threat he could be. With Steppenwolf, you don't really get that. You don't know what his motivations are. You don't know what his ethos is. You don't know what makes him tick. You don't know why. Anything. Zod, you can kind of piece it together because you see him under normal circumstances, normal-ish, and then you kind of see what becomes of him. You don't get that with Steppenwolf. The thing with Steppenwolf that drove me nuts when I learned of it was that the mocap actor for Steppenwolf never interacted with the rest of the cast. Never once. Steppenwolf obviously interacts with Justice League, Batman, Wonder Woman, all of them. But the guy who did the motion capture, the guy who acted as Steppenwolf, did not interact with the other cast at all. How the fuck? What kind of movie is that? What kind of movie are you making where the guy playing your antagonist never, ever, ever meets or interacts with the people playing your protagonists?
I need your help.
You can't do a play or a stage production that way.
Honestly, what are you thinking, Angeal?
I mean, I just see that as such a bizarre choice. And I'm surprised that whatever they saw beforehand, they determined was unwatchable. And then what went out in theaters was.
I have to protect.
Everybody's upset. Not everybody. Most people are thrilled about the Zack Snyder Justice League thing. The Snyder Cut. A lot of people have been begging for it because they knew that the fucking studio got in the way of it. And how did they know? Because it's happened 1,000 fucking times. Justice League might be the latest example, but fucking Suicide Squad, Batman vs Superman.
No, wait,
Batman vs Superman, the extended edition with the extra 26 or so minutes, that's a full-fledged fucking movie. And it's a good movie. But they balked at a 3-hour movie or a 2-hour, 50-minute movie. This is in an age after Lord of the Rings. This is in an age where you had Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, and you had people going to all of those. I went to them. When Dark Knight Rises came out, I did. The whole trilogy. One after another overnight. I was at the movies from like 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. Lord of the Rings made a shitload of money, and those are some long-ass movies. And what? People just don't think that, oh, nobody's gonna go to a 2.5-hour-long Batman movie? Are you fucking kidding me? Of course they will. They go to fucking 3-hour-long Avengers movies. Time isn't an issue. Making a good movie is the fucking issue. So I'm fucking happy that the Snyder Cut's happening. I'm happy that it's going through HBO Max. I'm happy that they're taking a chance on it. I don't know why it took this long, and I don't know why there's I mean, we're talking like $30 million at the very least, right? There's an investment here. But if you're going to invest money in a fucking movie in the first place, why can't you... How hard is it to have faith or trust in the people making that movie? And don't give me this whole, like, oh, we don't want to lose money on a bad investment. X versus Sever. Ever heard of it? Probably not. It's another one of those dumb fuck movies that somebody made for some fucking reason. Who was that? Antonio Banderas and Catherine Zeta-Jones or some shit? It's a 20-year-old movie. It's in my memory because it is the dumbest fucking movie title I've ever fucking heard. Who comes up with these fucking names? X versus Sever. ECKS. My name's X, Mr. X. Get the fuck out of here. Who comes up with this shit? It is so... like, it's so obvious how little effort goes into some shit like that.
Well, look who's here.
And of course, And like, how many fucking Fast and Furious movies are they gonna make? But that shit still makes money. Crazy how that shit still makes money.
Hollander sent you, correct? You think that if you obey Hollander, he'll stop your body from degrading. Is that it?
Hojo does not sound the same.
Just pitiful, I say.
Pitiful. Just pitiful, I say. And in the remake, he's like,
Great hack like
a
Hollander.
second-rate hack like Hollander couldn't cure a cold.
Ah,
But I'm gonna capture and hold
My
hostage
friend,
the
fates
ancient
are cruel.
breed
There
her.
are no games,
Yeah,
no
that's
honor
Hojo.
remains. The arrow has left. The bow of the goddess.
the entire cast of Hollander's Freak Show,
Shut up, you!
Yeah.
Loveless, Act 4.
where the two friends challenge each other to a duel. An ancient epic. I read it thinking it might aid my research, but pure drivel.
How does the duel end?
You at your mom's house?
Unknown. The last act is missing, and yet to be discovered.
There are various theories.
Why has nobody killed you yet?
The mysterious gift of the goddess. What is the meaning behind it? For us, at least.
Hey! Hold it, Genesis!
Angel comes in. He's like, oh, I'll give you the lift. Are we just supposed to be laughing? They probably
My soul
didn't
corrupted
tell
by
him to
vengeance
laugh there because he'd be like, oh, because the
hath
fucking
endured
direction of his
torment to find
his
the
voice
end of
actor,
the
like the
journey
choice that they
in
made.
my own
That's
salvation
no,
and your eternal
No.
slumber.
no, 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 no. Remake, yes, 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 yes.
He's summoning again!
Zack, I leave this to you.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah, thanks.
You can do this. Trust me.
Okay,
Don't leave me here!
appreciate your vote of confidence
Come
there.
back! Aerith? Listen, can I call you back later? I have some company.
Yep. It's
Don't keep your guests waiting, she says.
it's a pretty interesting design. Bahamut Fury.
Neo Bahamut?
Nope.
Holy shit. Bahamut Fury?
Yes. Talking to myself. Anyway,
Oh, miss.
so yeah, I'm pretty excited for the Snyder Cut. It's supposed to come out next year. Don't know if it's going to be like a big movie or like a serial, like what they say, 6 episodes or some shit. But from what I understand, they're not using anything from the theatrical version. So everything we're going to see is going to be like new footage. Well, new in quotes, I guess. Because I don't know if they're getting the actors back. I thought they were, but I read conflicting things. But I'm looking forward to it.
Oh. This is gonna be dangerous.
Yeah. I'm such a threat that this dragon's gonna go to fucking space, shoot shit at the moon, and then lunar cry my ass.
It's a little much for little old me, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little much. And it does a shit ton of damage. I thought I was done. I almost was. God. I don't know. I guess there was some new news regarding
Give me something.
Remake Part 2. They were doing some interviews here the other day. And I think people are a little worried because they're out there saying, like, yeah, shit's gonna be different. We're adding some new stuff. It's a new story. It just lends credence to the theory. It's not really much of a theory now. That Remake is not a remake. It's a sequel. And I totally am ready to argue that. As soon as I finish up with this, as soon as I get off my ass and get my PlayStation by my computer and hook up my Elgato and start doing my hard mode run, I am ready to dive into that shit. I am ready to get into my theory on how original Final Fantasy VII never happened. The game opens and ends with the same scene. It's Aerith knelt over a pipe that's leaking Lifestream. It's leaking Mako. And she is communicating with the ancients.
I mean, I don't really.
And they,
slave.
because the Lifestream
Health is fine.
knows all things, the Lifestream is the will of the planet.
Thanks.
I prefer system.
And they are establishing in Remake that the Lifestream is aware of its own future, aware of its own
now.
demise, I guess. The Lifestream is aware of more than it's letting on. It's not just perceiving time in the present. The Lifestream seems to be able to perceive time, past, present, future simultaneously. So Aerith is learning from the Lifestream everything that is about to transpire in the game. She learns about Sephiroth. She learns about Meteor. She learns of her own fate, but because it's the Lifestream and she is as much a part of it as anything because she's an ancient, she can see beyond her own fate, and she can see what will happen to the planet. And she can see Cloud and all them doing what they do. And then when it ends, it shows her again, just as she was in the very beginning. That's my theory. That Final Fantasy VII, the original game, is one long flash forward from Aerith's perspective. So then when it returns to her at the end of Final Fantasy VII, the original game, that's where Remake picks up. She's talking to Lifestream, she's learning all this shit, and then there's a disturbance. Not only was she in the Lifestream, talking with the Lifestream, not really exploiting it, but Sephiroth is there too.
I guess that's the end of that chapter.
And Sephiroth in the... What's the word I'm looking for? What's the other word I'm looking for? I keep wanting to say associating, but no, the parallel literature, the other books. It's very clear that Sephiroth has a strong will, and even though he more or less dies, he maintains his consciousness and he keeps himself alive in the Lifestream. Whereas other people dissolve and become a part of the fabric of the planet, he does not. He refuses. His body ultimately washes up in the Northern Crater. You find him there later. But his consciousness is still in the Lifestream. That is how he's able to exert his will over Genova. You think it's the other way around. You think Genova has some sort of control over Sephiroth, and no. Sephiroth has control and is manipulating not just Genova, but everybody. That's what he is. He's a master manipulator. So, Aerith, more or less, she didn't take a journey through the live stream. The live stream showed her what would befall the planet. But Sephiroth is as much a part of the planet as anybody, because he's in it, and he's fucking Sephiroth. I don't even think it's the Genova cells in him. The Genova cells and that whole revelation, that's what led to his mental break. We'll get there eventually. But he has a uniquely strong will, and it's explained in On the Way to a Smile that he is mad with vengeance. He is obsessed with Cloud. Cloud was the one who who killed him. Cloud is the one who fell him. And he's just in the live stream seething. And he holds on to this. And it's his memory. It's the people's memories of him that more or less give him life. And so he will do everything he can to maintain his existence within people's minds, within their subconsciousness. And it's easy to do with the Sephiroth clones, those guys in the black cloaks, because they are experiments just like Sephiroth was or is. They have Genova cells in them. They are linked to Genova, and so is Sephiroth. And so he is like in their heads, and Genova is too. Genova's the reason they all want to come together. Genova is why reunion is a thing, because all those pieces, all parts of her want to assemble again. Well, is it though? Shit. That's the initial theory. But I think you come to find out that it's not Genova that's drawing everybody to the north. Yeah, it's Sephiroth. And that's what you find that out a little ways into the game, where Cloud's like, oh fuck, I wasn't pursuing Sephiroth. He was baiting me. He was leading me to him. He was in my head and making me think that I was doing what I wanted to do, when in fact I was doing what he wanted me to do. So that's a pretty nutty revelation. So Remake starts, and Aerith is like, oh shit, that's how things are going to be. So she knows all about Sephiroth already, because she saw it happen. She saw the whole thing happen. She knows about Meteor, she knows about Holy, and she knows the danger that's out there. So Remake starts, and then that very danger, oh shit, she senses it off to her side, off her shoulder. And right away, if you've played the original game, you know, like, oh shit, that's not how the game started. Shit. That's not how it started at all. She looks down the alley and she's disturbed by something, and then she kind of hustles out of there. The camera lingers on the hallway. It's like, what's back there? You don't see anything, but Aerith more or less did. She jumps out of the alley. She bumps into somebody. She drops some flowers. She's picking up her flowers. One of her flowers gets stepped on. That didn't happen. That didn't happen originally. She didn't bump into anybody. She didn't drop any flowers, and nothing as foreboding as someone smashing one of her flowers happened in the original game. So right off the bat, you're like, nope, this is not the same. Something's different. And it's Sephiroth.
Build up a badass little
Not only
farm.
does Aerith know everything that's going to happen, Sephiroth does too, and he is not content with that. The thing of it is Sephiroth is on the other side. Sephiroth is in the life stream. Aerith is not. Aerith is an ancient. She can commune. She can speak with the life stream. She can talk to the planet, but she's at a disadvantage. Even though she's an ancient, she does not have home field advantage. Sephiroth does. And that's why everybody's like, man, she knows a lot more than she's letting on in Remake. She wasn't like that in the original game. Yeah, that's because this Aerith, she knows what's supposed to happen. She technically went through everything that happened in the original game, but the planet didn't. Everybody else didn't. Ah. And because Sephiroth's in the live stream, because Sephiroth is reaching out to Cloud, because Sephiroth, not only was Sephiroth fueled by what Cloud did to him in I want to say Nibelheim. Fuck Nibelheim, I'm not pronouncing it that way. So not only is Sephiroth driven for revenge, or he just hates Cloud because of what Cloud did to him, he also knows what Cloud's going to do to him. He knows that Cloud is going to defeat him at North Crater and stop him from achieving godhood. He knows she-dogging. I remember that. I remember him she-dogging even back then.
She-dogging?
Yeah.
Like
That's what I said.
Bitching? Is
Yeah.
that what he's meaning?
That's exactly what he means.
She-dogging.
I'm going to use that.
Okay.
Anyway,
Haven't
so
heard
not only does Sephiroth have what happened in Nibelheim, but he has this potential future. His plans to take the live stream for himself and become a god thwarted. He tries to take Cloud one more time in his subconsciousness, and again, thwarted. And this is in On the Way to a Smile and in the Turkside story. Sephiroth is stretching his will to manipulate the souls of Kadaj, Yazoo, and Loz so he can sort of reanimate. He's sort of lost his memory of who he was or what he looked like, but he knows of himself. But then he finds these other existences floating through the live stream, and he hijacks them more or less. And that's how Kadaj, Yazoo, and Loz manifest as pieces of him, because that's really all of Sephiroth that's left. And he more or less comes back in Advent Children, and again, he's beaten back. So the Sephiroth in Remake knows all of this. He knows all of this, and he's like, well, shit didn't work out very well for me the first time around, but now I am armed with this knowledge, and I'm going to try to do some things different. So not only he tries to do things differently, but he also does some shit exactly the same. He baits Cloud into doing what he wants him to do, into fighting the planet, into fighting a weapon, Whisper Harbinger. That is the planet's like last line of defense for, I guess, any and all possible timelines. And when you fight the extensions, the red, blue, and yellow Whispers, it says that they're fighting to protect the future that gave birth to them or whatever. It's like, yeah, they're defending themselves. They're trying to defend the planet. Aerith saw the way it was supposed to be, and that's what Whisper Harbinger is trying to do. But Sephiroth is in the way and just fucking shit up. And that's why Remake is different, and that's why Remake is a sequel. Because the original story of Final Fantasy VII, as far as this is my hypothesis, it didn't happen. Now, I'm not going all Dallas or last episode of Roseanne or anything, where, oh, it was all just a dream. No, it wasn't a dream. That was one of the possible timelines, that the planet could have endured or lived through. That was one of the things that could have happened. That was the most likely thing that was going to happen. And now it's not. And that's pretty much everything I was going to talk about in my first episode of Remake on hard mode. So there you go. That's pretty much that. Anyway, that wraps up for this episode. A lot of ranting, and yeah, you're now staring at a black screen, and you only have my voice keeping you company. All right, I'll get the next one up as soon as I can. The footage is already recorded. I just have to edit it and put everything together. Thanks again for spending your time with me. Appreciate you stopping by. If you care, if you don't mind, I mean, hit the like button, subscribe if you want. I'm going to try to, keep coming out with videos. This Remake, Legend of Dragoon, Chrono Cross, Brave Fencer, Musashi. I have all these different emulators on here. That's the whole reason I built this PC was to play. And man, I've been watching a lot of Max Payne 3 videos too. I know it's not in the same realm as Crisis Core or Chrono Cross, but I've been watching a lot of Max Payne 3, and I really want to play that game again. So anyway, thanks again for coming by the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video.